For many players, the first game they ever came into contact with that introduced them to the wonderful gaming world in the first place was probably some title from the always popular RTS genre. After careful consideration, we have compiled a list of the 10 most anticipated RTS games coming out in the near future. Whether you prefer fast-paced action or thoughtful strategic planning, there is sure to be a game on this list that appeals to you. Starting off with number 10, we have Ratten Reich, a World War I scenario set in an alternate universe. We are dropped into the middle of a ruthless steam and diesel punk world, devastated by the eternal war that has been going on for many years. The catch is that the protagonists of this grim warfare are none other than various factions of mice, rats, roaches and lizards. The game will feature very large and quite diverse maps, full of bomb craters and battle scars. Utilize trench warfare in a dynamically destructible environment, from steep hills to large fields, villages and devastated cityscapes. The realism is further enhanced by great sound design and highly detailed damage feedback. Blood will splatter everywhere and limbs will fly all over the battlefield. Units can be controlled individually or as part of a larger squad, opening up many opportunities for clever flanking maneuvers. Vehicles and motorized infantry troops can be fully customized and adapted to your current needs. The finished game will include an optional first-person perspective that can be used for a better understanding of the environment. Ratten Reich is coming to Windows PC after receiving a very positive feedback from the community. Although there have been rumors that we could see a full release in September 2022, unfortunately we do not have confirmation of this information yet. At number 9, we have the Valiant, a medieval squad-based RTS set in 13th century Europe and the Middle East. The story revolves around the search for ancient relics that once assembled form an artifact so powerful that it can bring unspeakable evil and suffering upon the world. Our hero sets out to find these relics before they fall into the wrong hands. On our journey we will meet other brave like-minded warriors who will join our cause. The Valiant will not have a standard base building component, in which you gather different resources and build an infrastructure to grow your army. Instead, it will play more like Company of Heroes, with a strong focus on squad-based gameplay and a touch of RPG elements. The epic single-player campaign consists of 15 handcrafted missions, each with its own cinematics, narrated journals, difficulty levels, and more. In addition to the single-player mode, there will also be a 3-player co-op mode and competitive 1v1 and 2v2 multiplayer. The Valiant is coming to Windows PC, PlayStation and Xbox, with no set release date as of yet. Next at number 8 there is the new Terminator RTS, Dark Fate Defiance, which comes under the wing of Slytherin, the publisher responsible for many high-quality strategy games in the past, such as the most recent Starship Troopers Terran Command, Distant World series, Panzer Corps 2 and many others. In Terminator Dark Fate, which is set in a different timeline and after the events of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Skynet has been wiped out, and another AI called Legion has taken its place. In the single-player campaign, you'll take on the role of a commander of the Founders faction and guide your army in an attempt to foil Legion's plan to exterminate the last remnants of humanity. In Defiance there is no classic RTS mechanics where you collect resources and build bases. Instead you'll have limited assets at your disposal and your army will be taken from mission to mission, an execution that will be familiar to fans of the Homeworld series. Other notable features include physics-based building destruction, modular component damage system, numerous types of military units and support for online multiplayer. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance will be released for Windows PC, with a release date yet to be announced. In 7th place we have The Settlers, an upcoming RTS colony sim that features deep infrastructure and economic gameplay that lets you create and deploy armies to defeat your opponents. You'll be able to choose between 3 very different factions and select the game style that best suits you. A story-driven campaign will immerse players in the world of The Settlers, while new players can learn the basic mechanics in a separate tutorial. Various online multiplayer modes with up to 8 players offer exciting skirmishes against other players or the AI for long-lasting fun. The focus of each game is to gather resources and build your economy to recruit new settlers and a directly controllable winning army. Research upgrades for your army and strengthen it by recruiting support and siege units. Powered by Ubisoft's proprietary Snowdrop engine, The Settlers sets new visual standards in the real-time strategy genre. The animations are beautiful and there are small details to discover everywhere. Originally the game was supposed to be released in March 2022, but since the quality did not meet Ubisoft's expectations, it was postponed to the end of the year. Next at number 6 we have Stormgate, an upcoming free-to-play RTS being developed by Frost Giant Studios, which is mostly made up of former Blizzard employees who worked on legendary RTS titles like Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. The story is set hundreds of years in the future, in a post-apocalyptic setting where science fiction and fantasy collide. Humanity is facing an onslaught of demonic invaders that are pouring out of the storm gates and want to claim Earth as their own. Along with the humans, this alien faction will be playable in an ongoing series of campaign missions, which you can play alone or in a 3-player co-op mode against the AI. Additional chapters of Stormgate's ongoing sci-fi and fantasy campaign will be released regularly along with new units, maps, game modes and more. One of the biggest features announced is the ability to create your own tournaments or qualify for professional esports matches, all directly within the game. Stormgate is being developed in Unreal Engine 5 and is coming to Windows PC probably sometime after the announced beta in 2023. If you want to sign up for the beta, you can find the link in the description. Before we continue, if you liked this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and enable all notifications by clicking the notification bell icon. Moving on to number 5, Manor Lords is an upcoming strategy game that has the potential to establish itself as the ultimate medieval simulator, and a pretty damn good one if you ask us. If you could put Medieval Dynasty, Kingdom Come Deliverance and Total War battles into one package, you'd get an idea of what Manor Lords is actually trying to accomplish. The game offers a deep organic and realistic city building with large-scale tactical battles, and all of this with historical accuracy at the end of the 14th century taken into account. So much effort has been put into bringing this fascinating period of history to life. Details such as terrain textures that change throughout the seasons, livestock aging system and many others, all intertwine to create a believable world. Battles are brutally realistic and executed in Total War fashion, with formation dragging, waypoint system, terrain height advantage and in the worst case, a tactical retreat option. All units have individual stats and equipment, and suffer from fatigue if they stay in combat too long. Manor Lords is coming to Windows PC with no set release date yet. The game has generated a lot of hype since introduction as it is slowly shaping up into what we think is the best depiction of hard medieval life in the gaming industry. Check the description for instructions on how to participate in a closed alpha test. Next at number 4 there is Homeworld 3, the sequel to one of the most influential science fiction real-time strategy games. When it was released, Homeworld used revolutionary 6 degrees of freedom for troop placement, allowing us to go above or below the galactic plane to secure victory conditions. The main story followed a continuous narrative. All the assets you had at the end of a completed objective, such as ships and resources, were carried over to the next level. This was quite a challenge, and it was important to have multiple saves during each mission if things went south. The graphics of Homeworld 3 are simply stunning. We'll be able to see more details than ever before. On our journey we'll encounter numerous remains of huge megastructures that could serve as potential cover from the enemy fleet, or as a starting point for our own ambushes. Homeworld 3 will be released for Windows PC and it's coming sometime in the first half of 2023. At number 3, there is Men of War 2, a series with a long history behind it. Its roots are dating all the way back to 2004 title called Soldiers, Heroes of World War II. Since then, the franchise has changed names several times and has undergone many changes and improvements until it finally became known simply as Men of War. The game offers a unique combination of historically accurate campaigns on the Western and Eastern fronts. Dynamic campaigns allow players to lead their own division from one historical battle to the next as part of a specific war operation. Experience the classic theater of war with significantly improved visuals, destructible environments, and advanced AI. Using the direct control feature you'll be able to manage any single unit on the field at any time, and change, upgrade and repair equipment and vehicles. All missions can be completed with friends in co-op mode with up to 5 players. Each player will have their own unique specialized division, so one player can provide artillery support for infantry to push forward, with tank division by their side. The game will always adapt the mission difficulty to the number of active players. Other notable features such as PvP multiplayer skirmishes and full mod support will ensure that the franchise continues to grow as one of the most influential World War II real-time strategy game ever created. Men of War 2 is almost complete, and despite the ongoing situation happening in Ukraine where the developers are currently located at the time of writing, it should come to Windows PC later this year. Next up at number 2 there is Falling Frontier, a sci-fi RTS that created a lot of hype when it was first introduced in 2019. The design of the ships and stations partially resembles the visual style of the Expanse TV series, which was very well received by the community. Setting up proper logistics in Falling Frontier will be crucial for preparing and executing important strategic decisions. Create complex supply networks to feed your economy and defend it from enemy ships. Battles combine intuitive controls with deep space mechanics that respect zero-G physics. This is not a fast-paced game, and every combat decision should be well thought out. Line-of-sight mechanics are fully utilized on a celestial level. Hide your base in the shadow of the planet to avoid detection, or plan FTL jumps between these blind spots for a flanking maneuver. Set up reconnaissance stations to scan and detect enemies and receive early warnings of impending danger. Other notable features are the customization of ships and the importance of assigning and managing crew. Each officer has his own traits and abilities, making the selection of personnel a crucial factor for an efficient fleet composition. We look forward to playing this insanely good-looking title once it hits the Windows PC market in late 2022. And finally at number 1 we have a new chapter of Company of Heroes, which returns after 9 years. The third installment of the epic World War II tactical masterpiece was announced in July 2021, and this year will explore a completely new theater of war, fighting in the Mediterranean across beautiful Italian mountain passes, coastal vistas, and in the vast deserts of North Africa. The new dynamic campaign map delivers full sandbox-style gameplay, allowing players to command the overall war effort with the help of a new army customization mechanics. The game is being developed on Relic's proprietary Essence engine, capable of delivering a stunning amount of detail in a fully destructible sandbox, opening up limitless tactical gameplay options. Thanks to the new improved AI, we'll have the chance to see some of the most realistic squad reactions, powered by new brilliant unit animations. You'll have the option to play with up to 4 players in a co-op mode against the AI, or in a PvP 1v1, up to 4v4 combat modes. We're really excited for Company of Heroes 3, and can't wait to see what it brings to the table this year when it's released for Windows PC on November 17, 2022. So which of these games are you most looking forward to? Let us know down in the comments below. Many thanks for watching, as we really hope you found this type of content helpful. So hit that like button if you did, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Until next time, have a ton of fun.